Hi, my name is Ian Heath, and on behalf of Lionard Luxury Real Estate, let me welcome you to the wine estate of San Fabiano Calcinaia. Please follow me and I'll show you around. As you can see, we're in a very nice part of Chianti Classico, the central wine producing region of Italy and one of the most famous and oldest wine producing regions of the country. The current owners have about 45 hectares of the highest quality vineyards, all rigorously biological since 2012. But I'll tell you a little bit about the owners too, because their story is quite fascinating. They bought this property in 1983 when it was more or less a ruin, and since then lovingly restored it and continuously maintained the property till we see this beautiful picturesque postcard setting in front of us, inserted into one of the most naturalistic and beautiful environments you will see anywhere in the world. Medieval Hamlet, which forms a central part of this wine estate, is dating to about 1100 to 1000 AD, so it's been here for a very long time. And if the walls could talk, they'd have a lot to say. In the main part of the property, we have the owner's house. We have 6 apartments for guest use. We have the wine cellar, which has been built 20 years ago. It's a fantastic wine cellar with all of the conveniences, the aging, the barrique and the bottling capacity of a very large vineyard that can make around 250,000 bottles of wine. So if you'd like to follow me, we're going to have a look at the Medieval Hamlet, which forms the central part of the property, and we'll start from there. So we're coming up to the central part of the Medieval Hamlet, which is where the owner lives at the moment. These are the cherry trees that him and his wife planted 25 years ago. They grow pretty fast. I think it's because the sun is so strong over here. And the views are just absolutely incredible. I don't know if you can hear in the background the sound of the crickets singing for us, but it's a very strong sound. It's absolutely typical of the Chianti Classico, and any of you that have visited us in the past will know what I'm talking about because it's instantly recognizable. And I have to say, we are just in the middle of paradise. So here we are at the entrance to the Medieval Hamlet that we were just talking about. Down here is the wine cellar. We'll go and have a look at that a little bit later. I want to take you around where the owner lives and where the rest of the property develops around the central courtyard. Courtyards are always a central part of a hamlet. Since medieval times, they're a place where many families used to live, probably about 20 to 30 families, in fact, to look after a property of this size. Please follow me. So here we are at the entrance to the property, but before we reach the central part, this is where the custodian lives. He lives completely independently. Follow me and we'll go into the central part. So here we are, the first time that we've seen the central courtyard and the Medieval Hamlet. It extends all around us, 360 degrees. I'll give you a quick introduction to the various parts of the company so that it's easier for us to walk through it inside later on. So on our left we have the main offices and the administration division of the company, because don't forget we're in a wine estate and they're also a business. To our left again is the wine tasting area where they can have the degustazione, we call them in Italian. They can have a drink, they can have some salami, try the oil. Further down in this direction is more of the agricultural part, so the wine cellar is reached down there, the magazzini, which is the storage, the agricultural equipment is stored down there. But on our right is the owner's house, and immediately again on this side of the courtyard are a series of apartments. There's a total of 6 apartments in the central part of this hamlet, and those are available for tourists to rent over the summer, for short stays, for long stays. And you'll find that the same people are coming back year after year. They've been coming for about 20 years already. So come on, let's go and have a look. Please come in. This is the owner's private residence, and the first room that we enter into is a wonderful Tuscan kitchen. You can see this amazing fireplace, absolutely wonderful. Please, let's have a look. And wow, just look at that. It's a really, really nice sitting room. Absolutely wonderful space, double volumed ceilings. The wood beams are quite a piece of art, really hard to find. These things have got nearly hundreds of years. The fireplace is also magnificent. I can just see myself drinking a nice glass of brandy in the winter and enjoying the fire. And don't forget, this is a property which allows you to go hunting when the hunting season is open, and the animals that they're going to look for are things like hare, deer, wild boar and pheasant. These are all very well associated with the Chianti area. So this 5-bedroom villa has all of the space that you need to entertain friends and family. In addition to all of the upstairs room, downstairs we have this rather fantastic entertaining area, pool table, sitting room, extra lounge space. And it's just a very nice, light, airy environment. Also very easy to access the outside space. Every corner is completely private and has its own personal view over your own vineyard. It's quite something. So here we are, we've just arrived in the wine cellar. This is the original wine cellar for the property, because once upon a time it was a lot smaller than the one we'll go and show you downstairs. On your left are the original reinforced cement tanks, and on your right are the new, more modern stainless steel tanks. They're good for about 5,200 liters of wine each. This is where the first stage of fermentation occurs. Typically only lasts a few months just to get the first sugars out of the wine. And then the rest of the process continues down here. So if you want to be careful, follow me down the steps. We're going to enter into what is the newer part of the wine cellar, because the owner added this more or less 4 or 5 years after they came. Pretty big job. Represents actually how big an investment he made in his wine business. And really, when you get down here, the smell of the wine is quite overpowering. If anyone's ever been in one of these kinds of wine cellars, I don't know how you explain the smell. It's kind of like a really concentrated smell of grape juice, if that makes sense. But my God, it's a great smell. Come on, let's go. And so here we are. This is my favorite part of the property, actually, is the wine cellar with the barriques. It's where the magic happens. It's where what interests me, particularly the wine I just happen to have found the glass right here. This is where the magic happens, and this is what this is all about. So why don't you come with me and have a look at this absolutely spectacular wine cellar. If it was me, I'd probably even have my wedding here. I just love it. Well, look where we are. We're in the wine cellar, the cathedral of wine, an absolute marvel of architecture. I have to tell you, the smell, the temperature is fantastic. It never gets more than 12, 15 degrees centigrade. It's perfect for aging wine. All of these French oak barriques that you can see will host wine for perhaps 8 months, for a maximum of 2 years before they're transferred into bottles. And the just depth and the amount of wine, we're probably looking at over 100,000 bottles of wine just in front of us right now. But I tell you what, we have a little surprise organized. The owner was kind enough to open his personal wine cellar, and there he's collected for the last 30 years the best vintages that he's produced with a lot of love and hard work. So we're going to go and have a little taste. Let's have a look. Well, I tell you, if I have to, I'll do it for the love of my audience. Let's try this. Wow, wow, very good. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. This is one to remember. For everyone that likes a good glass of wine, this has to be the place that you want to drink it, because it really is just a tug on the emotional heartstring. It's beautiful. You can see all the effort that the owner put into it, into his property that he's loved and nurtured over the years. It's evident in every detail. Every arch, every barrel is being placed perfectly. And just think, this morning we were walking along in the middle of the vineyards, in the hills, and those very same grapes in a few years are destined to find themselves in this wine cellar and in these barriques, aging, acquiring a depth of taste and a flavor that we all love and appreciate so much, that made Chianti Classico the wine that we all know today. And it just reminds us that the process of making wine is a journey and it's a pleasure. More than anything else, it's an experience that should be enjoyed for every moment that it gives us. And we are in Cellar, which is the highest part of the wine estate. Actually, it's the most elevated part because we're at about 450 meters above sea level. And as you can see, this is the protagonist of nature's domain. It is absolutely stunning. Everywhere you look, 360 degrees, uncontaminated paradise. We have the vineyards, we have the fruit trees to our left, we have lavender plants, and all kinds of flowers and butterflies. If you could only see what we're seeing, I hope you can. It's absolutely stunning. Behind me, Cellar, like I said, is another medieval hamlet. It's slightly smaller than the one down the road in San Fabiano. It's composed of about 5 apartments for rental, a little bit more secluded, perfect for families looking to get away and have their privacy. And one of the best things about this part of the vineyard, they have a swimming pool here with a view down the valley, which is just to die for. I can't wait to show you. Let's go and have a look. So here we are in Castellini and Chianti. This is the highest part, let me say, the highest part above sea level of the entire wine estate. We're at about 450 meters above sea level to be exact. And these vines that we can see around us are considered to be the best example of Chianti Classico vines in the whole of the consortium of Chianti Classico. The reason being that the terroir is just about perfect. The silty and stony composition of the soil is perfect for the drainage of the water. The vines themselves are perfectly exposed in a south-southeasterly direction. And because we are at a height of about 450 meters above sea level, the thermal difference between day and night really helps the sugars in the grapes to come out. It really gives full body to the wine. So this is really wine heaven. So welcome. This is the typical style Tuscan apartments that are characteristic of this part of the property. You can see everything is original Tuscan terracotta floors, wood paneled ceilings, large fireplaces, perfect place to pass a holiday with the family in the middle of the vineyards, enjoy the sun and enjoy the pool, and hopefully a good glass of wine. Wow, I tell you, it just does not get any better than this. As far as you can see, vineyards, olive groves, rolling green hills. This is Chianti, guys, and this is spectacular. The olives are amazing. I can't wait to go and have a look. And this infinity pool, you know what? I might just have to go for a swim. And that brings us to the end of your tour with me today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed showing you around. It was a long day, but it was a lot of property to show you, and it was definitely worth every second. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact us at Lionard Luxury Real Estate. We are at your complete disposal.